Big game, big winner, big savings with Premier Heating and Air. Whether you're preparing for the biggest game of the year or the world's biggest winter competition, make sure your HVAC system is prepared as well. Get a $1,500 rebate and $400 system upgrade with the purchase of a new HVAC system from Premier Heating and Air. Experience a premier difference today. Get a gas heat checkup with a free co-monitor for only $69. Heat pump checkup with the first pound of Freon if needed, only $69. Get a free second opinion or a free new unit estimate when you call Premier Heating and Air or log on to premierishere.com. Experience the premier difference today. Locally owned and operated. Offer expires February 28, 2026.
Please stand. This February 5th, 2026 meeting of the Dublin City Council is hereby called to order. I'd request that Pastor Sonny Wilkes provide our invocation. After the invocation, please remain standing for the pledge to the flag. Pastor Wilkes.
Good afternoon. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this gathering, this meeting. Bless it, make it fruitful and productive. We thank you for this day, another day that the good Lord has made. We will be glad and rejoice in it. Bless the leaders of our beautiful city, Dublin. Bless their families. Protect each and every one. And watch over us, Lord, and your blessed will be accomplished in all of our lives as we work together to promote the kingdom of God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Wilkes, for the invocation. We'll begin our meeting with approval of the January 15th City Council meeting minutes. Those minutes have been provided to you previously. Does anybody have any amendments or questions regarding the minutes?
Made a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Smith, a second from Councilman Brown. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item number 2 is approval of bills over $15,000. Mr. Powell.
You have a copy of all those bills in your packet.
Does anybody have any questions related to those bills?
Make a motion we approve.
All right. We have a motion to approve the bills over $15,000 from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Godfrey. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item number 3 is approval of purchases over $15,000. We have 2 of those this evening. The first is for a storm drain replacement on Regency Circle. The second is for a 2025 Chevrolet Traverse. On the first item regarding the storm drain replacement, Councilman Griggs has indicated that he may have a conflict on that. So I understand you're going to recuse yourself, Councilman Griggs. All right, so Councilman Griggs will step out of the chambers as we discuss item 3A, storm drain replacement. Mr. Powell.
This is a storm drain replacement, a corrugated metal storm drain that exists, and this is one of the low spot of this neighborhood that is off of Regency Circle and is in need of replacement. It's been failing. The street department has gone out and serviced it a number of times, but now the entire line needs to be replaced. This is for about 180 feet worth of pipe and some road work. TES submitted a quote for this at $42,771, and staff recommends that we allow TES LLC to do this work. This will be paid for out of the 2006 SPLOST that we have some money remaining in due to a change order reduction on the Jackson Street Crosswalk project.
All right, so again, our 2006 SPLOST, which is almost 20 years ago that it was approved, we had some extra funds left over in that SPLOST that can be used to pay for the storm drain replacement. We've discussed this in pre-council as far as what the purpose is and what's going on with the property around it. Are there any questions at this time?
Just curious, after this expenditure, how much is going to be left on the 2006 SPLOST?
A very nominal amount.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So our city treasurer said that there'll be essentially no substantial funds left in the 2006 SPLOST after this expenditure. Any other questions?
Move for approval.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Brown. We have a second from Councilman Colby. Any discussion on the motion? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Can someone... Did you have a question?
No, I thought we was gonna do it.
Oh, okay,
Approve
gotcha.
all of them at the same time.
All right, so we'll now move to item 3B, which is the 2025 Chevrolet Traverse purchase for the police department. Mr. Powell.
We budgeted to purchase this vehicle for the CSU division of our police department, the crime suppression unit, and we will be surplusing a 2005 Chevy Trailblazer as a result of this purchase. It is from Hardy Chevrolet Buick GMC under a statewide contract for $38,005. And then we also will be purchasing $4,073.80 worth of upfitting equipment for this vehicle from Public Safety Products Incorporated. It was budgeted and will be paid for out of the general fund.
All right, any questions related to this purchase? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Colby, a second from Councilman Godfrey. If there's no discussion on the motion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Since we were founded, the Houston Clinic has sought to provide the most advanced orthopedic services available to men, women, and children of all ages and all walks of life. And today, Dr. Gay and Dr. Richter continue the tradition of service in the Lawrence County communities. From our sports teams through every facet of this community, the Houston Clinic is not only proud to serve you, we deem it an honor. The Houston Clinic, 100 Medical Drive, Suite 400 in Dublin.
We'll now move to item number 4, which is presentation of the FY25 Comprehensive Financial Report. I understand Greg Chapman is here. Mr. Chapman comes to us annually to tell us the results of the accounting firm Nichols Colley that does the audit of our financial statements and tell us how we're doing as a city as far as presenting our financial information. Mr. Chapman.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor and Council. First off, thank you for allowing our firm to perform the 2025 fiscal financial statement audit for the City of Dublin. We performed the audit of the financial statements, and we're currently finishing up the single audit, which is the audit that is required for federal awards. When the city spends over $750,000 of federal grant money, we have to perform what's called a single audit. That's being completed as we speak and should be done by the end of this month. As far as the financial statement audit, the city's financial statements, our job is to render an opinion on the financial statements. The financial statements are the city's financial responsibility, and our job is to render an opinion on those financial statements by following auditing standards generally accepted in the United States. And as a governmental entity, we have to follow governmental auditing standards, and that merely just adds another layer of requirements on us, which include independence, additional independence requirements, and additional CPE requirements, which have additional CPE for governmental standards. Audit doesn't provide absolute assurance. There's no way I can look at every transaction for the city, or you would have us here all year, and the fee would be exorbitant. So we do sampling and testing to render our opinion on the basic financial statements. The result of our audit is an unmodified, which is what we call a clean opinion. That's what you're looking for. It's the highest level of assurance you can receive in a financial statement audit, and that, as I said, means that they are fairly presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. In addition to our opinion letter, we do issue a report on internal control that is required under governmental auditing standards, and that is our report on internal controls. We do not render an opinion on internal controls, but we do have to report on any findings that we may identify in reviewing internal controls as a part of our financial statement audit. And I'm happy to report, as a part of our audit, we did not identify any findings, material weaknesses, or significant deficiencies as a part of our internal control review. In doing a financial statement audit, the state only requires that you perform a financial statement, a set of financial statements in accordance with GAAP. The city has elected to go above and beyond that requirement and perform an annual comprehensive financial report as prescribed by the Governmental Financial Officers Association, and that just adds a little more data for the reader, for the citizens, for the for any banks or other financial institutions that may want to assess the financial soundness of the city, and that adds some MD&A and some statistical information that shows trend analysis and that type of information. The city prepared that full, what we call an ACFR for fiscal year 2025. They did submit the same for fiscal 24 and received the certificate of achievement. What happens in that process is that full report is submitted to the GFOA. They have someone that sits and goes through it and completes a very long checklist to make sure all the components of that report are there. And then they send a score sheet and any comments or any recommendations for improvement. And then as we go through the 25 report, those improvements or suggestions are implemented and we move forward. Not very many cities do this. In the state of Georgia, only 54 cities out of 535 municipalities received that award to date for fiscal 2024. So that is an achievement for the city. As a part of our audit, we also issue a separate communication to the City Council, which is required communications. That's not anything unusual. We issue a similar communication to every government and to every commercial business or any other kind of entity we audit, and that's just all of the required communications that we're to provide. It includes highlight of the significant accounting policies of the city. It does identify that this year that the city did implement GASB 101, which is a change in how governments account for compensated absences. Compensated absences are vacation time and sick time that the city provides to its employees. The standard setters decided that we needed to change how that's accounted for, so the city implemented those changes this year and restated the beginning balances in accordance with the standard. So that is described in the notes to the financial statements. That communication also goes over significant accounting estimates and disclosures. It reports that there were no disagreements with management as a part of the audit. If we would have had any of those, we would have had to report that to you. Happy to report there were none. If there had been any unreported misstatements, now if there had been material recorded misstatements, I could have not rendered my opinion, but if there had been any that weren't material, I would have had to report those to you. Happy to report there were none of those. And then we have to report to you that we are independent. I cannot serve on city council and do your audit. That's one piece of it. I also can't perform certain services. You can't hire me to come in and tell you how to account for things and then me come in and audit it. So we do have to maintain independence as far as influence on, and as far as management is serving on in management, as also in the services we provide. And then very quickly, I'll just provide a few financial highlights. At this point, we are now 7 months or more into the next fiscal year, so this is all looking into the rearview mirror. But just looking in the second column, total revenues, this is just for the general fund. Total revenues were about $17.5 million. Total expenditures before transfers, $19.2 million. With the excess of the expenditures over the revenues, $1.6 million. And then other financing sources and uses, most of that is transfers from other funds. Some of that's ARPA, some of that's from the gas fund, water sewer fund. The net of that, transfers in, transfers out, all is a positive $5 million to the general fund, resulting in a net change in fund balance. So if you want to call that profit, if you would, at the bottom line for the general fund for the year, $3.3 million, resulting in an ending fund balance of just under or just over $9.8 million. Flipping over is a pie chart just showing the expenditures for the general fund, where the general fund spends its money by function. As you would expect to see, about half the city's expenditures are spent on public safety. That's police protection, fire protection. That's very typical for a city, and most county governments run in the 40 to 50% range. So that's what you would normally expect. 18% on public works, and then 14% on general government. General government includes your purchasing, finance, administration, all those departments. And then looking at fund balance history, 5-year trend, you do see an increase in the last year. That was some funding reimbursements from ARPA and some additional funding from the gas and water and sewer in the last fiscal year that bumped that up. So, and then the increase in revenues during the past year for intergovernmental grant revenues and some licenses were positive in the past year. So that brought the total fund balance for the general fund alone at $9.8 million. And then finally, almost finally, your enterprise funds are the business type funds that the city has that provides enterprise in nature. It's like the business type activities the city has. There's 6 of these funds in the 2025 report. The first one's water and sewer, ended the year with $34 million in net position. Now that's not cash, so or something that you can spend. The water and sewer, especially water, sewer, and natural gas, have a lot of capital asset and infrastructure. So looking at the very bottom, if you just take the unrestricted net position, you have just under $10 million in unrestricted net position to spend on future improvements and operations for that fund. Natural gas ending the year with just over $12 million in unrestricted net position. Sanitation, $4.2 million. And then finally, the last 3, Riverview Golf Course ended the year with a $309 million in fund balance. As I mentioned, all of that, actually more than all of that, is capital assets, ending with a negative unrestricted. The golf course is subsidized by the general fund during the year, so that is, if you notice that non-operating line there is supported, all of that is transfers in from the general fund. Special facilities is a new fund this year. That one ended the year with $655,000. All of that is capital assets. And the telecom fund at 1.9, with 1.3 of that being unrestricted. And then the last page is just highlighting the investment that the city is making in its with its SPLOST dollars. This year, the city invested $6.6 million of its SPLOST dollars in the city. Most of that being in water and sewer system enhancements, and then next will be public safety and public works projects and equipment that were made during the year. So as you can see, the city is investing those SPLOST dollars, that penny sales tax that is being made by the citizens of the city and those from outside the city, is being used to support the city's equipment and infrastructure. This year, $6.6 million. And again, thank you all, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you for that overview. Are there any questions from council members regarding this? I'll just say for the public's benefit that this 2025 annual comprehensive financial report is available in full online on the city's website under the finance department page. In this financial report, you'll receive, or you'll have access to, all information regarding all financial funds of the city, how the city spends your tax dollars, the projects that we invest in, and how much money we have in each of those funds. So if you have any questions about the finances of the city, it's all transparent, it's all available online, and of course our staff is available to answer any questions that you have about how your money is spent. And I think it's very important in this council that we have total transparency about all of our financial transactions and our overall status. I think it's also important just to say again that for 37 years in a row, the City of Dublin has achieved a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Hopefully we'll get it again this year. We go above the standards, above the minimum standards required by law to provide additional financial reporting to the public. And so I want to thank our staff for all the good work that you guys do. I know Blake Daniels is our city treasurer and has been responsible for making sure the numbers match since you've been in this position. I know that you work with our city manager as well to make that happen. So thank you, Mr. Chapman. Are there any other questions or comments? All right, thank you very much.
Yes, do we have a number for our overall net position? Total?
Not in this handout, but it is in the front. There's the government-wide financial statements That'll show you the governmental activities column and a business type activities column. So the governmental activities will show you all of the governmental funds as in a format that's like a business would. So it's going to show you net of all the capital assets and the debt related to those. And then the business type activity column is for all those enterprise funds in one single column. So it'll show you the net position for both. And I did mention the GFOA submission was done, but also we did get the submission to the Georgia Department of Audits was submitted timely by December 31st.
Great. All right, and did you know the answer to Councilman Smith's question? He was asking what the overall government net position was, I guess cash position for all the funds.
The unrestricted net position in the enterprise funds is a little over $27 million. So when we're discussing days of reserve, what's available that's not restricted or already committed, that number last year was a little over 25 million. So we actually saw like 2.175 increase on the enterprise funds this year. That's separate from the general fund, which we looked at there.
Yeah. So the general fund with about 9 million more takes it to around 34 million.
Yes, that would roughly 34, 35 million.
Okay.
Unrestricted on the side.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Chapman. Appreciate it very much.
Now's the time to get a great deal on the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $2,500.
Product you can count on, a name you can trust. That's Midstate Tractor and Equipment.
All right. The next item on our agenda is item number 5, which is a first reading of an ordinance to rezone a parcel from neighborhood business to high-density residential development. Mr. Powell.
This is ordinance zoning map amendment 2601, an amendment to the official zoning map of the city of Dublin, Georgia, as previously amended for the purpose of rezoning 22.52 acres more or less of property located at parcel D10B 210, Dublin, Georgia, from B3, which is neighborhood business zone, to R5 high-density residential development zone. The proposed use is for single-family residential development. This is a piece of property that's off of Woodlawn Drive. It's directly, almost directly across from the Woodlawn Apartments. You may have seen in the recent, 6 months or so, that lot was cleared, and it is the plan is to have a more dense residential development there. And we are working with the developer on that. The first step, though, is getting the property rezoned. I will say, for the council's benefit, this did go before the Planning Commission and was unanimously recommended for approval. And we'll have, this is just the first reading, though.
Okay. All right. So this was the first reading of the ordinance. There will be a second reading and a public hearing at the February 19th City Council meeting. This is at 9:30 a.m.
That's right.
That's right, because we have a special time for our next City Council meeting. So 9:30 a.m. on February 29th will be the public hearing on this. 19th. February 19th, 9:30 a.m. So if anybody wants to make any comments about this proposed rezoning, that'll be your opportunity to make a public comment regarding that before we vote. All right, we'll now move to item number 6, which is a resolution to approve an amendment to our future land use map and our joint comprehensive plan. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2606, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin to approve and adopt an amendment to the future land use map of the Lawrence County Joint Comprehensive Plan Vision 2050 to set an effective date and for other lawful purposes. The city has been recognized as being a plan-first community, and we work very closely with Lawrence County and the other municipalities on our joint comprehensive plan. And a component part of the comprehensive plan is the future land use map. And one thing that governs all of the decisions that council makes regarding rezoning requests or annexation requests is whether or not it's consistent with our joint comprehensive plan and our future land use map. Because of that, and because of the item that we just covered on the rezoning request, the current future land use map shows that the area that's subject for rezoning is listed as a commercial use. And so we are asking the council to amend the future land use map to reflect that to be residential in the future use. And then there are two other areas of town in the downtown area adjacent to Rose Street, as well as a section, block that fronts Telfair Street that are not currently shown on the future land use map accurately. And one would be to allow for mixed use, and you can see on the map there that's circled in kind of the pink color. That would be what will be a mixed use going forward. On the future land use, it currently shows as industrial, which is inconsistent with the use that's there. It has some commercial and residential use there. And then the red and the yellow and the circle down below that is both commercial for the red and then residential for the yellow. And then you can see the larger circle on the screen is for the property we just talked about on Woodlawn to be included in the residential area, which, as you can tell, is consistent with the surrounding use for that property. So this is to keep us in compliance as far as a comprehensive plan standpoint, and so that your decision on the rezoning request can go forward.
All right. Any questions about that? All right, so at this time, we need a motion regarding the resolution to amend our future land use maps and the comprehensive plan, so it'll be consistent with the zoning that we're about to do on these
Move
parcels.
for approval, Mayor, of the resolution as presented.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Brown, a second from Councilman Jones. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 7, which is a resolution to accept an agreement with Flock Group for live view cameras. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2607, a resolution of the City of Dublin, Georgia, by and through its mayor and council, approving an amendment to a contract with Flock Group Incorporated for service and equipment utilizing the Flock fixed solar video camera, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, to set an effective date and for other lawful purposes. A couple of years ago, the council approved a contract with Flock for some pan tilt zoom cameras that were going to need to be powered electrically by direct connection to the power source on Georgia Power's poles throughout town. And there were some difficulties in working that out with Georgia Power and between Flock Group and Georgia Power. And so as an alternative to that, the chief has worked out a deal with Flock to provide solar-powered cameras. They're not pan tilt zoom, but they do serve a good purpose for the police department as far as criminal investigations go. And so they're being strategically placed around town, and in fact, they've been in place since July the 1st of this year, or early in July this year, or this past year. And we are asking the council to approve this resolution to, one, modify the agreement with Flock to accurately reflect the type of cameras that we have, because the current agreement shows a different style of camera. And then also to get this agreement in consistent with our fiscal year so that we can more easily track it and budget for it going forward. We did already pay for the first year of service back in 2023 when we first did this agreement with them, and we're getting credit for that. But there will be a payment that's due in the next fiscal year starting in July coming up, and we will be paying for that with some opioid money. The city has participated in, you may have seen there's been a lot of litigation regarding opioids with both the manufacturers and the distributors of opioids throughout the United States. And there have been class action lawsuits that have been filed regarding those. There's been a number of them, and we've participated in several of those and are receiving payments from those lawsuits. And the money that we get is supposed to go towards combating, criminal activity, particularly associated with, or that can be associated with opioids and its harmful effect on the community. So these cameras will fit within that criteria, and so we'll plan to fund that next payment with the opioid fund.
All right, and for those who are interested in the numbers, on page 101 of the 2025 Comprehensive Financial Report, you can see the information regarding the opioid settlement fund. And as it turned out, we received $29,000 more last fiscal year than we expected or budgeted to receive. So we have a little bit of extra money in that fund to help fund these cameras. Any questions for staff from council members? Do we have a motion?
Motion approved. Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Jones. Any discussion on the motion? If there's no discussion, then all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any are opposed? Nay. Ayes have it.
Hey, it's Stephanie again here at Shamrock Honda Kawasaki CF Motos, and I wanted to tell you about our CF Moto 4x4s. Perfect to get you in the deer stand or in your deer blind, and excellent once you kill that big buck to get it out of the woods. We have them in a variety of colors, including camouflage, emerald green, and reds. Come see us today for our full lineup of CF Moto 4x4s at 106 Savannah Avenue, East Dublin, Georgia. 478-272-4563.
We'll now move to item number 8 on the agenda, which is a resolution regarding approval of a construction contractor for a new public works facility project. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2608, a resolution of the City of Dublin, Georgia, by and through its mayor and council to approve the engagement of Dublin Construction Company as the construction manager at risk for the renovation and repair of the City of Dublin Public Works Street Division Facility Project, to authorize the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement for the same, to provide for authority for approvals of expenditures for the project, set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. We solicited requests for qualifications through a public advertised process, and we had a city staff committee that evaluated those and is recommending that Dublin Construction be engaged as the construction manager at risk on this project. As you may know, the city purchased a warehouse along Madison Street. We call it internally the cotton warehouse because it used to be owned by Roach and they housed cotton in the building, but we plan to renovate the facility to use it for our street division and incorporate their office space and some common area space, as well as shop and warehouse area for them. And so we need a contractor to help us with that project. And Dublin Construction was overwhelmingly recommended to be awarded the contract. Their overhead costs and monthly fee is expected to be just shy of $16,000 a month for the length of the project, and then their fee for their services is expected to be 4% of the project. And so council is asked to approve them. We do have some things up in the air a little bit with this project, and we'll work with them on that. I see that Mr. Chris Morris from Dublin Construction is out here in the audience in case the council has any questions. Thanks for sticking with us. But other than that, I ask that council approve this resolution.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Everybody wants a part of this one. So we have a motion from Councilman Jones, a second from Councilman Colby. Any discussion on the motion? I think, if y'all don't mind, I'll just real briefly talk about some of the things for the public's benefit that we discussed at pre-council. Robert, do you mind pulling the map up? Currently, our street department is at the end of Washington Street, just past the Oconee Gym, and our public works director, Robbie Petrie, has talked about how difficult it is to get all the equipment from the street department from that facility through down Washington Street through the South Side neighborhood, especially in the summer when you've got kids outside playing, to safely move that heavy equipment through a neighborhood. And plus it's inconvenient because it's not in the middle of town, it's not accessible to a major highway. So for years we have been trying to plan for how to move the street department and other public works out of the South Side neighborhood into places that are more industrial or more accessible to major roads and more centralized. So for the 2024 SPLOST, the council approved $1.5 million for a street department relocation to the Madison Street property. And it just, everything takes time in government. You have to approve the money, you got to budget the money needs to come in through the sales tax, you've got to acquire the property, you've got to design the building. But now we are at the stage where we have a rough idea of what it's going to cost, we know roughly where it's going to be, have a rough idea of what the design of it is going to be, and so we're ready to ask Dublin Construction to come in and be the construction manager for the project. And a construction manager, if you bring them on early enough, they can work with the architect and the design team to find ways to reduce cost. You know, a typical way that governments in the past did big contracts like this is that they would have an architect come in and design it all and then bid it out, and whoever was the lowest bidder would get the design. But we found that if you, and other communities have found, that if you bring in the contractor ahead of time, they can actually get that design to a point where they can find cost savings, and it won't cost the public as much money. So I think that our engineering department and also our financial people have enjoyed or like using this process now, this construction manager process, so that we can bring those contractors in early and find cost savings on the project. So the overall goal here is to get Public Works and the street department moved to a better location where there's going to be less impact on a neighborhood where families live. And also in doing that to try to do it as cost effectively as we can. So this is the next step in that process, and we have a motion. Or is there any more comments or discussion?
Motion to approve.
So we have the motion to approve.
sorry.
We have the second. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And thank you for coming for this, and look forward to working with Dublin Construction on this project.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move to item number 9, which is discussion and action on declaration of surplus. Mr. Powell.
We have five items for council's consideration for declaration of surplus. And if council approves, they will be listed for sale on Gov Deals. Got a number of vehicles and then a few smaller items that are slightly used.
All right. Any questions? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Brown, a second from Councilman Jones to approve these items for surplus. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
All right. At this time, it's an opportunity for citizens' comments. If there are any citizens who would like to make comments, now is your opportunity. Ms. Smith.
I'm Melody Smith. I'm coming to you as the director of the Camellia District and as a board member of the Garden Club of Georgia. National Garden Club is encouraging us to come out and speak to our communities about what we can do for the 250th celebration of our country. They are encouraging us to promote planting plants in red, white, and blue throughout our communities. Knowing that the spring planting season is just around the corner, I would love for the city of Dublin to consider in your areas that y'all are financially responsible for, is to plant red, white, and blue. And I really would love it done before the end of March, because we're having the huge statewide fundraiser for the historic landscape preservation in Dublin. We were able to have it here because I was the district director, and they said, where do you want it? Thomasville, Macon, or Moultrie, or Valdosta? I said, we're having it in Dublin, Georgia. So we're expecting to bring in 300 to 500 people to Dublin on March the 28th. And I've been beating the roads here downtown this afternoon. Merchants are excited about it. It is to bring people to Dublin. And it's also to raise money for the historic land preservation, which I gave Candy the grant for the city of Dublin to do a grant for a $3,000 match for a park area, whatever, that has been in existence for at least 50 years. I'm surprised I got all that in much time.
All right. Good job. All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith. Appreciate all that you do. All right. Anyone else? Any other citizens' comments this evening? All right. If there are no other citizens' comments, then we'll go to staff and council comments. Mr. Daniels. All right. Everybody's kind of switched places around here now. Groover. Ms. Rozier? No comment. All right. Councilmember Brown?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Ms. Smith, for what you do on a daily basis and in helping beautify our community. Also want to thank Nichols Cawley and also thank our staff, Blake Daniels, your staff, as well as Josh Powell and the rest of the city staff in leading the preparation of our comprehensive audit. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Echo what Mr. Councilman Brown said about staff, Ms. Smith, everyone, work they've done, Blake, great job. Also like remind everyone that our Black History banner application is out. It'll be out. The deadline is March the 2nd. So please, if you know someone that you think should be worthy of a historic trailblazer, fill out the application and get it to us. It's online. I have some applications. You can get them offline. So please, please, please do that. And everyone be safe and stay safe. And remember, Valentine's Day is around the corner. So men, spend that money.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Jones. Councilmember Godfrey.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no comments this evening. Trying to get over to the Hub Building event.
Okay. Councilmember Colby.
No comments.
Councilmember Griggs.
Just have a good weekend and stay safe and warm.
All right. Councilmember Smith.
Just to reiterate what everyone said, just have a safe weekend.
All right. And Councilmember Chain.
No comment.
All right. Mr. Powell.
I would like to remind everybody that our next council meeting on February 19th will be at, the pre-council will be at 9 o'clock that morning, and the council meeting itself will be at 9:30, and that is to make space for our strategic planning. The council every year meets with key city staff and maybe sometimes some others to plan out the upcoming year as we've entered our budgeting season at the city, so we'll try to do some good planning for the upcoming year. As well as we currently have on our website, and we've had some social media posts, and I know there's been some news coverage about our Safe Streets for All program that we're running. We got a grant for this, and there's some surveys out there that we'd like for the public to engage in. If you've got any concerns about safety in our streets, please do utilize that and give us your feedback, and we invite the public to participate in that. Go ahead.
I just want to say it's a class, Ms. Brenda, if you want to come and speak on it, it's a class at Catherine Gray tomorrow, 1 to 4.
There is tomorrow at Catherine Gray Library. There is it's called Hold Up Money Smart Readiness. It's a small business. It's for small business violation grant, and where they have them teaching, and they say, not understanding I arranged for it to come down, but they say they got a lot of money to give away. So I encourage everybody that comes that got small businesses or have something that they want to come to this class. It's from 1 to 4 at Catherine Gray Library, and I think you'll find it very interesting.
All right, so that's from 1 to 4 tomorrow at the Catherine Gray Resource Center, a small business resource meeting.
Revitalization grant.
Okay, great. Thank you, thank you, Commissioner Chain. All right, I want to just say a couple of personal words. I appreciate Councilmember Jones, who is our Mayor Pro Tem, for filling in for me at the last meeting. As most people know, my father passed away recently. And I want to just say thank you to the community for the outpouring of support. There's so many phone calls and letters, and it made me really appreciate all the things that our community does for each other. So with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.